statutory approvals are really good for you. Some of them are actually indemnifying you from the problems coming in future. It's kind of an insurance for you, and it is important for you because you are also staying in that setup. It will differentiate you from others when you are going for an ABH permission or getting a cashless facility in your hospital. Let us see what is important and what is required.
So welcome. I hope you are enjoying this journey with us till Sunday. You will have a lot of videos to learn from, and we are sharing these videos with you so that when you come to the webinar, you are already prepared. You understand that what we will be talking in the webinar. In the webinar, we'll be talking about much deeper content and concepts, and this is a preparatory material for that. Okay, so I hope you are enjoying journey till now. If you have not watched the earlier videos, please go back and see in the WhatsApp group. There are a few videos which have already been shared in the group. Please go through it. And if you don't know about WhatsApp group, below this video there will be link. Join the WhatsApp group. If you are new, you have not registered in the webinar for upcoming webinar, please register for that webinar. Link is again given below this video.
In this video, we are discussing the statutory compliances which are necessary for your setup. May it be a small clinic or a big hospital. Everybody has to abide by the laws. That is exactly what you are mentioning here. When you go to internet, there are a lot of clutter and a lot of things are given.
Yes.
But what is very, very important and relevant to your business, healthcare profession, that you have discussed here, and very detailed discussion has been done. So take the maximum out of it. All your best.
Yeah. So thank you so much, and let us go and understand the statutory clearances. So this video we have recorded some time back, and we want to share this video because we got awesome response from the community because it clears a lot of clutter from the statutory clearances point of view. So please watch this video, and based on this there will be quiz after this video. Okay, that will again share in WhatsApp group. So based on the winners of that quiz will be announced in the webinar, right?
If you want a PDF of this document, we'll be sharing it with you in the webinar.
Also. So let's go and understand what are the statutory clearances that you should not miss. Hassle-free statutory clearances. So first point is what statutory clearances is required, because if I go to the internet, there will be thousands of laws which I need to be following, and that becomes a deterrent for me. And second is corruption. Third is there is no clarity who will do it, what I should doing be to get it done. So those are the things which you can just throw light on it.
So all the statutory clearances are made a little bit scary on the online world because they will give you a big list, and sometimes it includes the Constitution of India also. So let us understand that statutory approvals are really good for you. Some of them are actually indemnifying you from the problems coming in future. It's kind of an insurance for you, and it is important for you because you are also staying in that setup. It will differentiate you from others when you are going for an ABH permission or getting a cashless facility in your hospital. Let us see what is important and what is required. First, let us understand what are the different types of setup. There is a OPD setup, IPD, diagnostic, and others. So let us start from the OPD setup. And here, OPD setup means it is for all the specialization, not only allopathic, but Ayurvedic, Ayush, all the types, homeopathy. You can apply these rules there also. First is you get a Indian Medical Council registration, which you almost all will be having, because that is the license to practice. Second is the Clinical Establishment Act, which is again all the hospitals, nursing homes are now called clinical establishment by the government, and they have standardized the clearances or the statutory permissions under a Clinical Establishment Act, which is either in the same format which is Government of India has given, or it is slightly modified by various states, which includes three main permissions: PCB, building use, and fire clearances. They're the most important three permissions. Then is the Form C or Shop Establishment Act, which is important for any kind of business that you do. And this is given by the local municipal authority. So these three things you should always get it done before you start a setup, and you should not compromise on any of these. Then comes the IPD setup. In IPD, again, four types: land related, property, and human resource. So what is the land related setup type? Let us understand what is a brownfield project and greenfield project. Brownfield will be a project which is made on a pre-existing structure, and greenfield is a new building. So when you are going for a brownfield, whether you are renting or you are buying, you should have licenses, and expiry date should be checked in that. the change of the owner's name in all the registration, because now a new person is managing the things, and new registration under the CEA Act. Basically, why do you need to have a new registration? It is because previously it was held by somebody else, and the whole setup is now changed to your comfort or your requirement. So it is a setup's permission. It is not up for a person. It is for an organization. It is for the clinical establishment. And if you are going for a greenfield project, like you are building a new hospital, then it should be on the non-agriculture commercial land. And if it is not commercial, then you please get it converted into commercial land before you start the work. So clean land title deed should be there. Then comes the type of property. Type of property can be rented or owned. When it is a rented property, get a registered rent agreement. Get all the queries which are coming to your mind, incorporate that into the agreement, and get a proper fire NOC done by the owner. Because once you get for a long-term rent, the relationship should be clean and clear. It should be also on the paper. The clarification should be done. Don't hesitate. Take the help of 2-3 CS, and they will guide you well. Then when you're owning a property, or you're buying, or when you're having your own property, you'll require a building occupation or BU certificate before starting the work. There are some important points which are we should consider when you are renting or buying a pre-built structure. What are these? So they are, first is the water. Water is the most important commodity, and a high amount of water, lot of water is required for a hospital. 24 hours you should have water supply. Then comes the drainage. Drainage should be emphasized because once done, it cannot be undone. So give proper detailing in the drainage, and also required for the pollution control board. Floor, which will decide the fire NOC. See, once you go above the 15-meter height, the permissions or the requirements from fire NOC is more stricter. But whichever area you fall in, you have to get the permissions from fire NOC, and usually the owners will get it. Next is the electricity. You require 24-hour power backup, and for that you can have a DG set, and there is a permission required for that also. So these 5 things you should keep in mind once you are hiring or actually taking a lease property. And when you're building your structure, you should also give emphasis to these points. Then comes the property related. Property related, there are before, after, and others. So what should we consider before the construction? First is the building plan, which gets cleared by the local municipal authorities. And that is actually the setbacks and how much area is allowed to be, you can make it for, how much area is allocated for various structures. Then comes the registration under pollution control board. So pollution control board permission is actually the initial, you have to get it registered in time, because they come in various roles. First, they will be initially assessing, and later on they will be actually validating that you have made according to the guidelines or not. So you should get them involved initial time in your project. Then comes the AERB. If you are planning for any kind of radiation stuff, then the registration is required, which is required for X-ray or nuclear medicine or CT scan, which is AERB is required. And AERB is actually three times it comes into play. First is when you're planning it. Second, when you're procuring the instruments. And third is when the installation of the work is starting. So get on the LORA website, which is there for AERB permissions, and just go through it and make according to the guidelines only. Otherwise, it will be difficult to get the permission later on. Before you start digging or before you start making things, get the AERB things in proper perspective. Then comes the radiotherapy. Again, radiotherapy also AERB is required. Pharmacist license, we strongly tell everybody that you should have your own pharmacy and get a Drug and Cosmetic Act permissions from that. Hire a proper chemist. Lift is required when you have a building which is more than 2 floors. You should have a lift. And DPR and feasibility report is required when you are planning for a setup which is at least 50 beds. And it is actually your idea, your thinking, or your plan in the head that you have. That when it is put on paper, it is called DPR. And feasibility is actually the reports which you make when you have the financial projections and give a ROI or return of investment or break even, how long it takes to break even. Comes after construction. So in after construction, what all you require? First is NOC from the fire department, building use license, excise permit to store the spirit, registration under CE Act, blood bank, and consent to operate from the pollution control board. So this is the constructed part is already done. Now you want to populate. So what are the other permissions? These are other permissions which will be not required yourself to do it, but others will be the ones which are actually outsourced. You can outsource these things also. But important is that you should have the permissions in hand, or you should update it from time to time when it is required, which includes ambulance or vehicle registration certificate, FSI for a kitchen, licensing of arm for security, DG set permission and fuel approval for electricity 24/7, medical gas licenses, oxygen and all the other gases, and narcotic licenses, which is required in anesthesia. So then we come on to the human resources and HR related permissions, which come into picture when you have more than 10 employees. You have ESI, which pitches in, and 20 employees, you have EPF, which comes in. And that is you have to comply and abide by that. Coming on to the diagnostic lab setup. In addition to the above permissions, we require a PCP&DT license for any kind of ultrasound or echo machine, registration in ARB, and approval of plan from the radiology department. Right? Then comes the other setups. See, other setups, there will be a little bit, pharmacy, blood bank, telemedicine, Ayurvedic, homeopathy. Most of them will follow the same permissions because they are also clinical establishment. But if there are some additional permissions which are required, you can get in touch with us. We will tell you the details, and you can just mail us on our standard email ID.
Yeah. So
Right?
this is like 80-90%. This is what is required. Okay. All the critical ones, or people who already have set up, also check this. They should not miss any one of this thing which is relevant to them. Okay. They should not miss it, because whenever something bad happens in any part of the country, suddenly all agencies become alive. Okay. And they will ask,
They start asking.
Yeah, they will start asking.
Everything. And they will actually, you will be thinking that, okay, my friend has not taken it, I'll not take it.
Yeah.
Then the whole, both of you will have a locked hospital.
Yeah, and once it is locked, it is very difficult to open, and the whole reputation things which you have built for a year, they go in just in a blink of
building is gone. Yeah.
So these are the critical ones. So these are not 100% comprehensive. These are the most critical ones. If you have done it, if something bad happens, this will save you. Okay. Of course, there will be some small other things. As you grow, you will get it to know, and you will do it. But in the start, these are the most critical ones. Okay. Once it is done, everything will be fall in place. Okay.
And don't waste your own time in this permissions. Get it done from our various agents which are there already existing in the market. And this is just to tell you that this is to be done. I don't want you to go and stand in line, because your time is more important.
Correct. And this is why, because whenever you hire any agency or agent, you should be able to understand what he is talking, and talk to them in their own language. Okay, then they will not fleece you.
Okay. So great. Hope you have enjoyed this video and have learned a lot. If you have missed some very important statutory clearances that has been discussed, please go and finish that task. I hope by registration of this workshop, you got something valuable. So thank you so much for watching this video. And if you want PDF of this document, please type PDF in the comment box. People who will type PDF will be sent PDF to in their email. Okay, so please type PDF, and we will also be sharing this PDF in the webinar. Okay, so when you come to live webinar, after the webinar, all live participants will also get this checklist. So this checklist you will get by typing PDF in below this video, or you will be there live in the webinar. After the live, you will get a combined ebook of all the checklists that we have discussed till now. Okay, that is the importance to be attending the webinar till the end.
So watch all the videos in this series of videos and get equipped and see you on the webinar.
Great. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video, which will be coming tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care.